Good afternoon and welcome. And the name is called From the Territory, showing on NTA Channel 5, Abuja, your unity station. The program that brings you up to speed with developments happening in the rural communities. I am Aisha Uba Ali, your anchor as usual. Please stay tuned. The program will continue shortly. And thanks for staying tuned. Yes, a lot is happening here in the FCT, and you will get to find out shortly what is happening in some of these communities. Now, let's begin with this community. Notwithstanding the massive transformation in Abuja with bulldozers opening up new roads even in the area councils, it is surprising to find an ancient community in this modern era that steadfastly clings to its traditions and beliefs define all odds. This community, located along Gwagwalada Kuje Road, holds some remarkable cultural beliefs that are intriguing. Now, let's find out what Ramatu Abdullahi has in this report, because she went out all the way to find out more.
Beautiful cultural displays and dances of the Kiyi people celebrate bonding and marriages, often conveying stories of hunting, harvest, and rituals. They are a community that has faced many challenges to remain united.
When they started with Old Chikuku, the Kiyi people decided to separate from Chikuku. They now found their own location. In the forest, they are calling Akbado.
The Kiyi people are deeply passionate about their customs, beliefs, and values, holding on to them even as societal norms rapidly change. For instance, this stone, known as Kakajego, is believed to have been found floating in a river and is thought to possess supernatural powers. Since then, it has become a deity worshipped by the community.
So they came and see the storm still running in the water. So now they now decide, what happened? They now go back, go and meet the herbalists. When they meet the herbalists, this is what they see in their water. They are in the water that they are drinking. And I tell them that there was old woman who died. So he's the one that sent that stone into that water.
Additionally, a special kind of firewood also serves as a deity, protecting the people. Although the Kiyi community is predominantly made up of farmers, certain lands are forbidden for farming, as well as rivers where swimming is prohibited, with severe punishments imposed by the deities for any transgressors.
Ganaganama, who came to farm rice, he was the first person that start clearing the area. We are warning him that he should not enter this place. This place is a dangerous place. He should not enter. So he was trying to approach even this sugar cane. He found sugar cane here. And the diamond, what was consequence is that he found himself, he saw something in his head, commoting his head. And that is how the man can die.
The community is blessed with clay soil, which their women use to make clay pots. The youths also actively engage in various sporting activities.
During our days, when we are playing football, when it's time for halftime, then we look for our supporters to get it. Then when they are resting, the other opponent are resting, you use it for paper. You just blow it for the other opponent. Within 5 minutes, when the referee blow that, they go back to field. You see them scratching themselves. Everybody will be scratching themselves. So they can't have confidence to play. Before you know, we don't win them.
The Kii people are indeed remarkable, showcasing great resilience and a deep passion for their culture. Ramatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
When we say cultures and traditions, there are cultures and traditions. And I believe, Ramatu, when you went there, you were able to abide by the rules. Now, let's move to another community called Baduma community. The leadership and people of Baduma communities in the territory are calling on government for prompt intervention and provision of health infrastructure, primary and secondary schools, not leaving out additional polling units, as the community now houses more than 300,000 persons with just a polling unit assigned by INEC. Serafina Okonomeko will present her findings from Baduma community.
Paduma community by the Asokoro and Gusape district is a resettlement for the FCT indigents. However, that has changed now as non-indigents have found solace here due to affordability of accommodation, foodstuff and social life. Lami Beatrice, the chief's mother, laments lack of primary health care facilities and government schools. But for 70-year-old Josephine, thanks to her family, who saw her through a private school in the community.
Who does suffer? If you pass it, you might get belly. Now for general hospital for Asokoro. If you want to deliver, now so go manage, go that place. Maybe some people, person go feel born for inside car. Or person go suffer, maybe the least person go, you don't die. You know, good.
But actually, we are pleading on the government to provide us with a government school in Paduma too. Because not actually every parent can provide for private schools. Like the school I went to, the school fees is very costly. It's almost 200,000, and it's not every parent that can raise that amount of money. But with the provision of government school around, every parent can at least send their children to school.
Mohammed Bello is an automobile engineer, though from Kogi State, has lived here at Baduma community for more than 7 years. He highlights the challenges of the community and appeals for intervention from well-spirited Nigerians on youth empowerment so as to reduce crime to its barest minimum.
But it just be like we learn work, we use and come sit down for house, no helper. I beg. We beg government to help youth. Some well learn work, we no free buy tools. If they get any way to help us.
Baduma community is named after a forest tree that lived for several decades on the hills of Gusape district before Abuja was made the capital of the federation and just overnight dried up. The village head of Baduma 2 and Gusape district, Chief Beatrice Yakubu, is calling on the leadership of the Federal Capital Territory and the AMAC chairman for swift intervention on infrastructural development of their resettlement communities.
We don't have hospital here. We don't have school here. And our forefather, they are indigenous here. They died to leave us. I am 54 years now. I don't know what they are calling hospital here. I don't know what they are calling school here for this community, Gusape district and Paduma 2. And everything for FCT Abuja, the Gusape is the #1 allocation here. But we are not benefit because they are not help us. That's why we are begging government, give us water, help us for the hospital, help us for school, even road, temporary road, and do it.
Right in front of me is the Gusape district area of Abuja, a real highbrow area. And the contrast, the high contrast is that behind me is known as the Paduma 1, Paduma 2 community. Now we're told that they've actually got into 5, like Paduma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the basic things the villagers and also the chiefs are asking for is extension of polling units by INEC so that whenever elections come around, they are not disenfranchised. From Paduma community, Serafina Ukon Omekwe, NT News.
I am Oluremi Tinubu, the global and national Stop TB champion. Many people have asked why I've chosen to champion the fight against a disease like tuberculosis. My reason stems from a deep personal experience. I once had a friend who unfortunately fell ill and concealed the nature of his sickness until it was too late. Eventually, after he passed, we discovered he had tuberculosis. Sadly, due to the stigma and discrimination surrounding the disease, he would not speak up or seek for help. His death was a painful reminder that we could have intervened and saved a life if only we had known earlier. Tuberculosis is an airborne disease that primarily affects the lungs, but can also impact other parts of the body. Being airborne means anyone, regardless of their social economic status, can contract it. In Nigeria, 1 person dies of TB-related illness every 7 minutes, amounting to 206 deaths every day. Globally, 1 person succumbs to TB every 25 seconds, which is a staggering 3,456 lives lost daily. These deaths are entirely preventable because TB is curable if detected and treated early. If you or someone you know has been coughing for 2 weeks or more, coughing up blood, experiencing night sweats, or losing weight drastically, it might be TB. Please visit the nearest government hospital or primary healthcare center for proper diagnosis and treatment. TB treatment is free in all government and some private health facilities. Let us also remember not to stigmatize or discriminate against TB patients or those who have been treated for TB. Individuals who have been cured of TB cannot infect others. I call on all stakeholders, especially the private sector, to join us in the fight to end TB in Nigeria. Together, we can make a difference. Remember, TB anywhere is TB everywhere. End TB by 2030. Yes, we can.
Thanks for staying tuned, and you're still watching from the territory on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. And don't forget, you can follow us on YouTube at NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Jikwe, a rural area located just a few kilometers east of Abuja city, within the municipal area council, is home to the indigenous Bagi tribe. However, it also has a significant population of non-indigenous Nigerians who have settled there seeking better livelihood in the capital city. Wendogo reports on the pioneering non-indigenous settlement in Jukwe, highlighting its pressing challenges, including the lack of a standard water system and adequate access routes. Now, let's find out from Wendogo what he brought back.
Yoruba Quarters, the pioneering non-indigenous settlement in Jikwe, has existed for over 30 years since its first settlers arrived. According to Ismail Idris, popularly known as Baba Aminu, whose parents were the first non-indigenous residents to build a house outside the indigenous settlers area. The community got its name due to its popularity among Yoruba people who settled there in large numbers.
In this community, this non-indigenous community, Yoruba quarters, I think it has been existing since 1988, 87. We have been here. Jukwe is a very peaceful community. When we came here, this place was bush. I think it's only one particular house, one of our house here. It's the only house resident in this place before other tribes started coming here. And especially majority Yoruba, that's why it's named Yoruba quarters.
Beyond pioneering advocacy for steady electricity in Jikwe through youth-led protests that resulted in the installation of a second transformer, aside from the Phase 2 transformer, Yoruba quarters continues to seek basic amenities. Maulana Hakim, the youth leader, commends the FCTA administration's efforts to provide essential services in the city center and satellite towns. However, he urges the administration to address the community's pressing needs, which is clean potable water, good access road, and a reliable power supply.
Pleading on the AMAC chairman and the honorable should please look on through this our area also, because if you look at all other things going on within the indigenous place and other places like borehole, like street lights, like tying up their road. If you can check this road is not tied and there is no water, we are lack of a lot of things in this our area. So we are pleading on them should please look onto this.
We don't have any power. We are just pleading to the AMAC chairman, that is Mr. Christopher Megaranko. If he can help us and work on this road, it will be very. The road leads to Phase 2. If they can channel the road to Phase 2, is okay. Even
to counter just a lot of water problems. Individuals sink borehole, and they have to at least avail the community by their virtue of kindness to get water for themselves. Otherwise, generally, we don't have any borehole or no government provision for water in this area.
Notably, Yoruba quarters houses the first mosque in Jikwe, serving as the central mosque for Jummah prayers. In Abuja, Wayne Dugu, NTA News.
Now, in the process of nosing for news, Odiri Ogboru Aritere found herself in a very popular village. And Usuma village is a host to the famous Usuma Dam, located along Buhari Road in the nation's capital. The people of Usuma are calling on relevant authorities to come to their aid by providing potable water. Just imagine asking for water in the midst of having plenty of water. Now, let's hear from Odiri what she brought back for the territory.
This third road was constructed 34 years ago when the government was relocating the Pewi people from their original ancestral home due to the construction of the Usuma Dam. History has it that Pewi was founded by a hunter, Kushimi, from Zaria, Kaduna State, in 1865. He decided to settle there because of the rocks around to create a cave. Pewi people are predominantly farmers. Pewi, Jugo, and Ampamwara villages were resettled here in the 1980s by the Federal Capital Territory, having sited the lower Usuma Dam in the then Pewi village on their ancestral stream called Suma.
The government promised that since they are relocating us down here because of the Usman Dam, that they will make sure that they provide us all the necessary social amenities. Water on which we were resettled because of, primarily, is what we don't even have now. We have made several write-ups, call it whatever. Government has given us a deaf ear. as such, it becomes a problem. It has become a stigma, a problem to us.
Till date, the people of Pei still believe in the gods of their ancestors, Lungwe, whom they worship and celebrate yearly, even though some have embraced Christianity and Islam. Over there is the traditional burial hut for every chief that dies in this community. By my right is the official palace built by the government while relocating the people of Pei to this resettlement ground.
We are the farmers. When we see the way how the rent, let's say from March, we see the sign of the rent. So farmer will start preparing for the farm. So our forefathers, they said, we need God blessing. That is why we are going there, to call God to help us. When rain will fall, we farmer will farm. If you don't farm, that we cannot get food.
More importantly, on this visit is the discovery that the neighboring communities of Pei, Jugo, and Pambwara still share the existing infrastructure like the Primary Healthcare Center, LEA Primary, and junior secondary schools recently built by the Universal Basic Education Board.
The Constitution, when you want to resettle people, you make sure that you come back and be, checking how are they doing, what are they faced with, what are their challenges. But I'm telling you today, since 1988, February 2nd, nobody has come.
A police post which has been under lock, and of course the only market which according to them had been sold and converted for residential purpose. The village head of New Usman Town, Pei Village, David Elisha, appealed to the government to come to their aid.
That's it, Odiri, and I believe the authorities are hearing the plight and appeals of the people of Pei in Usuma Village. And that's how we're going to conclude from the territory today. And do join us again next week for another interesting edition. And I am Aisha Uba Ali. To have a lovely day.